After my brother got married and moved out, it's just been me and my mom living together. I've been feeling frustrated with her lately, but I'm grateful for how she raised me, so I can't just ignore her. I never thought she would treat me like this. Even though I've been helping her out with money, she still kicked me out of the house. It was all because of my brother and his wife. I'm really angry with them for what they did. I'm going to make them regret it. My name is Emily, and I'm 25 years old. My dad died a few years ago, and my brother Tom, who's 10 years older than me, left after getting married. So now it's just me and my mom. Honestly, I don't like living with her. Once I started working, she stopped her part-time job and just lounged around at home. Plus, she treats me like her maid, always asking me to do things for her. She'd say things like, "Emily, is dinner ready yet?" Or, "I need an extra $200 this month." It feels like the list of demands never ends. Some people might say I should just move out if I'm so unhappy. And I've thought about it many times. My mom's been my rock ever since my dad passed away. She raised me all on her own, while my brother Tom moved away after he got married. His wife, Catherine, doesn't want to live with mom, so I can't rely on him much. As her daughter, I never even considered leaving her behind. But hey, I'm human too. Just because she's my real mom doesn't mean I have to put up with everything. Today, I got a bit upset and accidentally raised my voice at her. I noticed some money missing from my wallet and asked if she took it. She got defensive, saying she just borrowed it for clothes. But she never pays me back for the money she takes without asking. Every time I try to talk to her about it, she brings up how she raised me all by herself and how I owe everything to her. It's frustrating. I know she worked hard for me, and I appreciate it, but I'm not a kid anymore. I have a good job and enough money. Even if I gave her $2,000 every month, it wouldn't change my lifestyle much. I always felt like I couldn't let my mom have her way forever. Then, one day after work, I came home to find Tom and Catherine there. I hadn't seen them since Dad's funeral, and we hadn't kept in touch. Tom, being his usual insensitive self, started making snide remarks about me. I've always felt like he looked down on me and teased me, even when we were kids. "Why are you here, Tom?" I asked. "Why do I need a reason to visit my parents' house?" he replied. "But this apartment is mine. We had to sell our family home after Dad passed away, and I'm the one renting this place." Catherine, Tom's wife, joined in, making a comment about how uptight I am and how I'll never get married with that attitude. She said it without any remorse, just like Tom. I've never really liked either of them. After dinner, I escaped to my room. My mom, probably happy to see Tom after so long, chatted away with them smiling. It felt like they occasionally gossiped about me. Since that day, Tom and Catherine started coming over more often. And what really bothers me is that they act like this is their home. They're way too comfortable in my apartment. "Hey, Tom, what's going on? This is my place, you know." "What about it? What does my job have to do with you?" "I'm here because I'm worried about Mom and want to visit her often. You never bothered to reach out since Dad's funeral. It's none of your business. And speaking of business, I'm hungry. Cook something and do it quick. What's with this guy? Seriously, this is my place. Why are they lounging around like they own it? I want to eat a delicious cake. Emily, buy me one." And even my mom joins in. "Buy it on your way back from work today, all right? So hurry up and go get it for us, you lazy girl." Catherine, who used to avoid my mom, suddenly seems to be getting along with her very well. As for Tom, he's projecting this "I'm the eldest son" vibe, and Catherine's playing along as the eldest son's wife, acting all concerned about Mom. But I can tell they're up to something. I'm not sure what yet, but I'm certain it's not good. After a few days, their plan finally becomes clear. "Emily, I've had it living with you. I've decided to end this." I was doing some chores on my day off when my mom suddenly said this. "What do you mean by that exactly? I can't stand living with someone as slow, lazy, and unattractive as you anymore." "What are you talking about? Don't you get it? I've made up my mind. I'm going to live with Tom and Catherine. You're going to live with Tom and Catherine? I was so shocked by this unexpected statement from my mom that I repeated what she said without realizing the implications. I couldn't believe what was happening. My brother, who always hated the idea of living with my mother, suddenly wants to live with her. What on earth is happening? Just then, Tom and Catherine conveniently arrived. Tom, what's going on? You never reached out to us before, and you always said you'd never live with Mom, right? What's the problem? It's only natural for the eldest son to live with his own mother, isn't it? Tom said, looking down on me with a sense of superiority. That's not what I'm saying. But then it's fine for Mom to live with us, right? I retorted. Are you serious? Even Catherine was against living together. Why the sudden change? You're so annoying. Anyway, Mom's decided to live with us. We don't need you anymore. Just leave. Wait, leave? After all this time, when he left everything about Mom up to me, I couldn't help but feel disgusted with my brother, who always spoke so arrogantly. However, it became clear that Tom and Catherine were up to something no good. Although my mother always had a sharp tongue, she's still my precious parent. Besides, I didn't want to get involved in any trouble later on, so I decided to confront my mother. Mom, isn't it obvious that something's going on? After all, Tom and his wife never once contacted us before. What are you talking about? If anyone's acting strange, it's you, isn't it? My mom replied. Huh, Mom, those who just leech off their parents should just leave, I said, feeling hurt. The moment she said that, any affection I had left for my mother vanished instantly. After all the support I've given and taking care of her, how dare she say something like that to her own daughter? I couldn't believe they were mocking me like this, especially after all the years I've supported them. Well, they'll regret it soon enough. After a week, they'll experience hell, so they better enjoy this moment. I started planning my revenge on them. But before I leave, I need to make one thing clear. I'm leaving. Now, I declared firmly to my brother, his wife, and my mother. The three of them began chatting, smirking at each other. Emily, you're finally leaving the house. Mom, you must be so happy, Tom said. I truly am. Now I can live with Tom and Catherine. I'm on top of the world. From now on, I'll be the one taking care of Mom, my mother replied. Thank you, Tom. I'm also happy that I can live with my beloved mother-in-law from now on. Oh, thank you too, Catherine, Tom's wife chimed in. To be honest, I struggled not to laugh at that moment. But I couldn't let them think I had any leeway to execute my revenge perfectly. It's best to lay low for now. From that day on, my brother and his wife seemed to be constantly in my apartment. As for me, it's as if I'm invisible to them, or rather, they treated me as if I never existed in the first place. However, this was advantageous for me because I wasn't bothered at all while preparing to move out. A week later, it was my moving day. Today is the day we part ways, Emily. We'll be taking care of Mom from now on, so you can live without any worries, Tom said casually. Thank you. I'm leaving Mom in your hands, okay? I replied. After saying this, Tom seemed somewhat unsatisfied with my response. Then my mother approached. I hope you get married soon, Emily. It'd be a shame to remain single for the rest of your life, wouldn't it? You know, the whole society would call a person like you a loser, my mother said. At her words, Tom and his wife snickered. I responded calmly, That's true. From now on, I've decided to live just for myself. I mean, I no longer have to take care of you now, right? Just stop talking and get out. I never asked you to look after me. I was going to leave quickly anyway. Oh, seems like they're here, I said, hearing the doorbell ring. I headed to the entrance. It was the movers from the moving company I had scheduled for today. After having them carry out all the belongings from my room, I pointed to the living room and told the movers, Oh, and please move all the appliances and furniture in these rooms too. The dumbfounded voices of the three harmonized perfectly. They were completely confused at what was happening. That TV, the fridge, the microwave. Oh, and this cleaning robot too. Also, the sofa, dining table, and the bed. Please move everything, I instructed. Then my mother began to argue. What? What are you thinking? Stop this immediately. What do you mean? Are you doing something strange? Don't play dumb. Taking all the appliances and furniture from this house? Have you lost your mind? My brother, whose face was as red as a tomato, approached me aggressively. Yo, listen to Mom. How do you expect us to live without any furniture or appliances? You have no right to take everything. Leave everything here and just go. My mother and brother were squawking in front of me. Thinking I shouldn't waste any more time, I clarified the situation to the two. Hey, are you getting the wrong idea or something? Everything in this apartment, including the apartment itself and all of its appliances and furniture, are all mine. You know this is Mom's place, right? Don't mess with me. All the furniture and appliances were bought using the inheritance from Dad, weren't they? I clarified. I knew it. He's just an idiot. As I had anticipated, he misunderstood and believed that my mother was financing everything in my apartment. He assumed that she had received a lot of inheritance from my father and had cleverly convinced them to live with her. Tom, aren't you misunderstanding something? I bought everything in here. I've been giving Mom a monthly support of $2,000, you know. Thus, I've lost. You just want to live with Mom, don't you? Someday I'll inherit Dad's inheritance, I explained. Huh? What are you talking about? Mom used up all of Dad's inheritance a long time ago, I added. Tom nervously glanced at our mother. She was looking down, her face pale. Mom, please explain. You told us you bought all the appliances in here, Tom demanded. Well, I was just trying to look good, my mother confessed. Huh? What do you mean by that? We only moved in with you because we thought there was an inheritance from Dad. If there's no inheritance, what's the point of living together? Tom exclaimed. Wait, what are you saying? Didn't you say you take care of me because you're the eldest son? Tom asked. I was just trying to be nice. I lied so that we can live together, my mother admitted. Upon learning that there was no remaining inheritance, Tom was furious, and my mother was deeply shaken by the realization that the kindness shown by Tom and his wife was all fake. What a hopeless family, huh? My mother should have suspected something when Tom and his wife, who hadn't been in touch for a while, suddenly proposed living together, I thought to myself. As I gave the two cold looks, Tom's wife seemed to have an idea and spoke up. I've got it. It would be great if Emily could live with us again. To this, my mother and Tom both agreed. That's right, Emily. You should live with us after all, Tom insisted. Yes, Emily, I really do need you, my mother added. Seeing the drastic change in their attitude as they began speaking for their own convenience, I quickly dismissed them right away. What are you even saying? Don't make me laugh. There's no way I'd live with trashy people like you. I've decided to live only for myself from now on, I declared firmly. Whatever happens to you all, I couldn't care less. But why don't you all just happily ruin your lives together? I remarked coldly. The three of them, completely drained of energy, sat down on the spot as if their knees gave away. All three of them had empty eyes. Goodbye. Do your best as a family, I said as I closed the front door. In just another 2 weeks, the lease for the apartment would end because it's under my name. They'll probably be forced out to leave when the lease is up. Well, it's none of my business anymore. About a week after I successfully moved, as expected, I received a call from my mother asking for help. Emily, please. I can't live properly like this. Come back. There's no way I'm coming back. Why don't you have that idiotic couple take care of you? I retorted. Actually, it seems they quit their work and moved here thinking I still had your father's inheritance, my mother confessed. They really are terrible people, aren't they? I don't even feel like helping out at all. I don't need a couple who only thinks about money anymore. All I have is you, Emily, she pleaded. Mom, I'm busy. Can I hang up now, please? I said, cutting her off. Emily, help me, she begged. I hung up the call before she could finish and blocked her number. I no longer felt the urge to help my mother, especially not now. Rumor has it that my mother and Tom's family got evicted from the apartment after that incident. They ended up spending all of Tom's savings to move into a shabby apartment. Apparently, my mother doesn't work, and she argues with Catherine almost every day. Tom is the only one who has a job, working from dawn till dusk just to make ends meet. As for me, after distancing myself from my mother, I've been able to save more money and use it for my own needs. After all these sacrifices I've made in the past, I want to lead a life that makes me happy from now on.